Looks like the surface of the moon.
Is it supposed to be like the surface of the moon?
Not really. It's supposed to look like the top of a piston.
You ready? Start her up.
It is a beautiful day here in Chicagoland, and last night I slept in a real bed. I rolled in about 10:15, 10:30, and pretty much just ate something, went to bed. But today I've already accomplished a lot, starting with taking everything off the bike, all my luggage, just kind of going through it just a little bit, all my dirty clothes, this, that. I also decided to take off that dummy side exhaust. So I took it all the way off from what I had set up in Oklahoma and decided, you know what? If it's not gonna be useful, I'm not gonna put it back on the bike until it is. So I got an idea to make it into a tool compartment, to put like a little roll up of wrenches, you know, whatever, just a bunch of stuff that I decide, just taking it from my own tools, putting it in there, and make it a sealable compartment. So it's always ready to go, just as long as it's not too heavy. But anyway, not putting it back on until it's useful. Also, of course, you see I got my tent drying out here. Just a little wet in Arkansas when I left out of there. So other than that, bike's real dirty and I'm ready to go. I need to go over to Kevin's, see what's going on with this bike, hopefully get it washed up, and we'll go from there. All right, let's do it. All right, here we are. Kevin's garage. Let's see what they got going on. Let's see what I got going on. So I just talked to Kevin about the oil, and he said there's a few different things that it could be a multitude of a few different things together. So for starters, yeah, it could be the rings, oil getting past the rings, and maybe oil in the valve train, just with some things up there. He said maybe not as likely, hard to know. But another thing could be there's these plastic stock breathers in the heads. Sometimes those go bad. Another thing that happens is sometimes the oil goes to a different cavity. Like you got the engine, you got the trans, the primary. Sometimes you get engine oil into the primary. When I drained the oil in Lakeland, what I should have done was get the bike upright and take the derby cover off and then see if there was any extra oil in there then. But I did take a video of the oil draining out, and they said it doesn't look like more than what should be in there. We can check that here as well. But for starters, what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull the plugs and see what's going on from there. Those are brand new plugs when I left here originally. But we're not gonna do that until I clean the bike, might as well here. Pretty filthy. So I'll scrub it down here and then I'll pull the tank, pull the plugs. So I pulled the gas tank, and before I pulled all the spark plugs, which didn't look too terrible, we did a cylinder leak down test. And I didn't get a video, but basically that uses compressed air through the spark plug hole and a specific gauge to see how much air is escaping past the piston rings and the valves. And ideally you want it close to 1-to-1, which my rear cylinder was, but my front was at a 20% leakage rate. And Harley says 25% is okay, but Kevin says, man, that is way too much. We gotta borescope it. And here's how that process went.
Looks like the surface of the moon.
Is it supposed to be like the surface of the moon?
Not really. It's supposed to look like the top of a piston.
Okay. Oh wow, get that.
Yeah, camera doesn't do it justice.
A lot of deposits.
With the results of the leak down tests and what we saw on the bore scope, the teardown continued, and to confirm what we already knew, gonna have to rebuild the top end. So it's day 2 here at Kevin's, tearing the bike down, looking for issues, seeing what's going on. And I did find that a little piece of my internal head breather was cracked and missing. It's nothing that's really gonna cause an issue, it's plastic anyway. But something in there that we did see, and a lot of oil in the intake. And so called it a stopping point yesterday, took the rocker box covers off. Right now I'm getting ready to pull the heads off and take a look inside. That'll be pretty interesting, but we're just gonna keep on tearing it down so we can see the pistons, piston walls, and I kind of go from there. We're gonna have to do something regardless once we get down, but I'm just gonna keep plugging away at it, see what we can find, and they're helping me along the way. I'm learning and learning what's going on with the bike. I've got a few things in mind already as far as the upgrades when we put the bike back together. We're gonna put in some new metal internal breathers, put a metal intake on it. The stock one is plastic, and some people have issues where that cracks, where it warps. I'm just going to skip that phase. I don't want to have that issue out on the road. I'm just gonna get a new one now. And then I'm also gonna put an external breather on it, which I should have done had already. I did on my last bike. But anyway, put that on here in the future, along with a few other things, and gonna get some parts ordered here soon. It's kind of a little bit of a race against time, race against parts, and see if we can get it back ready to go to head down to Tennessee next week. So, better get back to it. So with the bike torn down all the way, it would sit like this while we waited on parts. I decided to go with 5/1000 over Drag Specialties pistons. That way I could stay close to the stock bore size, but still hone some material off the cylinders to make them nice and true. In the meantime, I added that new to me brake light on my tour pack. Shout out to Larry K, thank you. And spent some time at the shop with the regulars, just helping out where I could. The parts were delivered, and I was able to work with a friend mowing grass to cover the machinist cost to go through the heads and hone the cylinders. Kevin helped me with the ring installation, pistons, and cylinders, but after that, I did almost everything by myself, just following the book and asking questions. Made sure to take my time, follow the specific torque sequence on everything, and Loctite where necessary. Yeah, she's pretty far put together. The engine complete, and this is the air cleaner backing plate. This is my new mod I did right here. Drilled some holes and route this breather air out and then down to some filter elements up underneath, one for each cylinder. These are the stock rubber breather hoses so they're gonna fit on those bolts nice. And basically what that's gonna do is eliminate that carbon buildup that we saw on the pistons. Yeah, it's pretty rough. Of course, it was all in the heads, everything like that. Not good, not what you want. So that's a huge upgrade we did there. We also put those blue S&S metal breathers into the heads there before we sealed them up. And additionally, I got this metal intake manifold right there. So a few different things we did to kind of upgrade what I had, fix some of the situation that happened with the oil burning, and rings were a little worn out on the front cylinder, not according to Harley actually, but anyway, freshened her up for tonight. I think I'm gonna throw this air filter on, get that complete. I'm gonna throw the exhaust on, at least this side here, maybe the footboard, but I can't be out here for forever. I gotta close it down here at some point, but we're getting pretty close. I'm really excited, definitely very thankful to have Kevin's shop, Kevin, Tara, in my life here. They've done a lot of nice things for me, helped me out a ton. I've learned a lot in this process, pretty awesome actually. Really enjoying it. Not a good situation with the engine burning oil and stuff, could have been way worse, but it is a positive. I learned a lot, did some upgrades here, and we are gonna get her good to go. I really want to fire it up today, just not gonna happen. So yeah, tomorrow, bright and early, gonna get in here, fire this thing up, here it come to life. All right, well, Tara came back here and helped me out, get it buttoned up. Exhaust is on. She's putting it in neutral, tank is on, side covers. Ain't nothing to it but to start it up. So, let's see what we got here.
Fuel pump isn't running. All right, Curtis, you ready? Start her up.
All right, well, that was about a good solid 13-hour day in the shop, and bike is running. I had some codes, cleared them, so far nothing. Tomorrow we got to change the oil, take it for a ride. Got a little bit of time in the morning, but solid day. That's gonna be a wrap. Let's start this thing up. Already took it around the block, but I'm headed home now. I'm a little bit short on time. But man, it is great to be back on my bike. The bike is back in one piece and running better than ever. And ultimately, in my opinion, a lot of things led to the oil consumption. The engine had been sucking that hot, oily air from the breathers since new. That led to carbon buildup. It had some extreme hot conditions in Florida, and it may have been running on the rich side as well. I'm not sure. I don't believe it was one thing alone, but the engine is fresh now, and I've taken many steps along the way to prevent it in the future. Huge shout out to everyone at Kevin's for all the help along the way. Stay tuned for next week as I break in the engine and cross more state lines.